Yeah, to all the killers and the $100 billers. For real, niggas who ain't got no feelings. Check it out now.
Welcome to the core idea, where different perspectives of things often meet right in the core. We're back at it again with another What's the Meaning Wednesday. Except this time, it's Thursday. Sometimes life has a funny way of reminding us to practice the very things we're planning to talk about. Yesterday quickly became one of those days for me. On Monday, we kicked off a brand new theme with our breathwork episode. And we talked about how there is power in the pause. We wrestled with what breathing room looks like for each of us individually. But then Wednesday came, and it was like I had forgotten my own advice. I realized that I wasn't in the right headspace to deliver the message that I wanted to. So, instead of ruining it, I took my own advice and I gave it a little breathing room. As I was resting last night, still unsure of exactly how I wanted to begin today's episode, I stumbled across this.
Sometimes, when Elmo feels annoyed, he does a heart breath.
Ooh, a heart breath?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds cool. But, could me do a cookie breath? You know, that's more me thing.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay. Oh, hey, you want to try it with me? Okay, here we go. Smell the cookie. Then slowly breathe out. Hey, me feel better.
Funny enough, I couldn't think of a better way to begin today's conversation. If Cookie Monster and Elmo are reminding us to take a breath, maybe that's something worth paying attention to. On Monday, we introduced the breathing room, but we never fully entered it. And yesterday, life invited me into that breathing room before I could make this episode. So, welcome to the breathing room. A place where we can step away from the noise, slow down, and simply breathe. A breathing room is a place where we can create a little more room for ourselves before reacting to everything else around us. On Monday, we asked ourselves, where could my life use a little bit more breathing room? And today, we'll be asking ourselves another question. What do we do with the very next breath after we've created that breathing room? Because once we've created that room, the next step is learning what to do with the very breath that we made room for. Do you notice that door in front of us? The answer to that question is on the other side of it. That's what today's episode is all about. Breath control. Welcome to the control room. When you think of control room, your mind may think of a TV station, an airport tower, or a recording studio. But today, our control room is for self-awareness. Imagine that before every conversation, you had a control board sitting in front of you. And before speaking, you could slow down your pace. You could turn down your volume. You could turn up the empathy and check your intention. Possibly, maybe even hit pause. Because there's power in the pause. Do you think your words would land differently. Speaking of landing differently, have you ever stopped to think about how different artists control their breath? Think about it. You have so many different genres of music, right? You have rock singers, opera singers, you have rap artists, just to name a few. All three of those are very different genres, yet they all depend on breath control. Today, though, I want us to start by looking through the eyes of a rap artist. Because I think that the breath control that it takes to deliver dozens of words in just a few breaths is incredible. And it's the perfect perspective for today's conversation. Some of the fastest rappers that many of us grew up listening to are artists like Eminem, Busta Rhymes, and Twista. Then you have artists like Rakim and Crazy Bone, who are often recognized for their incredible flow, breath placement, and control. But here, check this out. The goal isn't to rap the fastest. The goal is to make sure your messages reach the audience. One of the most effective breathing techniques used by rappers is something that's called diaphragmatic breathing. It helps them to take deeper breaths and to control their airflow, and at the core of it, deliver their messages more effectively. So why not try it together? First, place one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. Now inhale slowly through your nose. Focus on expanding your stomach rather than your chest. And now exhale slowly while keeping your breathing controlled. Now, let's put that breath to work. Imagine you're the rap artist. Imagine that you're standing on stage with thousands of people looking at you. The beat drops. You know every lyric, but knowing the lyrics isn't enough.
Alright, next up is my boy Bunny Rabbit. Hey, y'all can talk all that shit if you want to, but I'm telling you, I vouch for this motherfucker right here. He's a genius, man, a motherfucking genius. Get that shit, 45 seconds, Rabbit. DJ, kick it. Hey, yo.
If you've ever seen 8 Mile, you probably remember this scene. He knew the words, he had practiced, he had the talent, but in that moment, he choked. When I watched that scene years ago, all I saw was someone who was choking under pressure. And it's kind of funny that that's the word that we use, isn't it? Choking. Because now, watching that scene, I see something different. He didn't lose the lyrics, he just lost control of his breath. And that's when something else clicked for me. I've been practicing breath control too. breath control in the form of speech therapy. My aunt had a stroke in January of this year, and since February, myself and two of her sisters have been helping with some speech therapy exercises via FaceTime. We do a bunch of different exercises with her a couple of times a week. Did you know that pa, ti, ka is an exercise that has you use every part of your mouth? Pa uses the front of your mouth. Ta uses the middle. And ka uses the back of your mouth. Let's try it together. Did you feel the vibration at each part of your mouth? Before I started helping with speech therapy, I never thought about how many different parts of our mouth work together just to produce a single sentence. Now, before we go any further, I just want to take a second to acknowledge someone who's taught me more than she probably realizes. My Aunt Diane. Diane, you continue to show fantastic improvement through determination and a smile, even on the hard days, and I'm so proud of you. Not only has she made tremendous progress from that, but I have noticed my speech improve too. I appreciate that I've been able to not just teach something, but to also learn something while I do it. While working this experience into the episode, I had another realization. These little speech exercises weren't just helping during speech therapy. They were helping this podcast. I'm learning how to speak with clarity and how to take my time. And those are two important things in my eyes when delivering a message to my listeners. So in hindsight, maybe Aunt Diane has become an unexpected producer of the core idea. She thought that she was learning speech therapy, and I thought that I was teaching speech therapy. But the more I think about it now, it turns out we are teaching each other. And isn't that beautiful to think that every relationship has the potential to be that way? Sometimes we're the teacher. Sometimes we're the student. Most of the time, we're both. Maybe our personal relationships are harder to maintain because we have love there, and we are so used to that love that sometimes we take listening moments for granted. Remember B Rabbit on stage earlier? After he got off that stage, he ended up being sick in the bathroom. And for years, that scene looked like stage fright. But today, I wonder if it's something more. Like a manifestation of holding on to things that we need to say or not being given the breathing room. Let's go back into the studio again. The producer is sitting behind the glass. The artist is in the booth. The producer might say, hey, slow it down a little bit. Just take one more breath, or let's try that line again. But at the end of the day, the artist still has the final say. I think that relationships can be a lot like that. Sometimes the people who love us notice things that we don't. Or they might suggest that we slow down. They might point out something that doesn't sound quite right to us. And they might encourage us to try again, or to be better. But they can't perform our verse for us. It is up to us to control our breath and control our response. The producer offers perspective. The artist has the final say. And the best records aren't made because one person wins. They're made because both people were willing to listen. On Friday, be cool now, because we're going to be turning it up. That's right. I'm talking about the AC, baby. And don't forget to like, comment, and share. And subscribe to our page on YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook. Turn on your notifications so you never miss another episode of The Core Idea.